What's up and good morning, War Report family. We're back for day 2 of SEC Media Days. Joining me is ESPN college football analyst Roman Harper, former Alabama linebacker, joining me today. Let's jump right in here, Roman. It's a new SEC. There are 16 teams. Texas and Oklahoma have joined the conference. And we're seeing some unique games that would have been only bowl games in the past with Texas and Oklahoma. Oklahoma goes to Auburn for the first time in the history of college football. What do you think about the shape up of these schedules that we're seeing in college football? And what games should we look forward to?
Texas, Georgia is going to be the top one. Then you also got Alabama, Georgia in the regular season. Texas at Texas A&M late in the season. You get that story rivalry coming back to us, which I'm really looking forward to. And then, of course, you get the Red River rivalry. And that's now officially in the SEC. I love it. It's going to be really, really cool to get all these teams here. And look, Oklahoma's a huge story program. Texas as well. It just makes the conference that much stronger, that much better overall when you get these two programs together. And now it just makes this more championship proof.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, right? Like with Georgia getting probably one of the hardest schedules they've seen in quite some time.
Yeah, they had a cakewalk last year.
they had what I would describe as their yearly cakewalk. Right. And this year they're at Alabama, they're at Ole Miss, right? They're at Kentucky,
Texas.
they're at Texas, they're at Kentucky. And this morning I got a chance to ask Kirby Smart about that. He said, "Hey, you forgot we play Clemson on a neutral site." How do you see the Dolphins?
That's in Atlanta. That's
It's a home game.
That is a home game for Georgia. I don't care what anybody says. That's their second home game.
Yeah, right.
They play there every year, 2 times a year usually.
Yeah.
Right, so
What's that drive? An hour and a half from Athens, maybe.
With bad traffic, that is Atlanta. Yes.
What do you see for Georgia in the cards? I know that we'll hear from their players today, but is this another 13-0 season for the Dogs?
No, it's not. They will lose a game somewhere. I don't know which one, but it's just the attrition of the season overall will give Georgia a loss. Hopefully not 2, but if they do, I still think Georgia's in the playoffs regardless. They're the best team roster from top to bottom in all of the country. They have the best coach in Kirby Smart, and they're recruiting at an all-time high. And whatever they don't recruit out of high school, they go get it out of the portal.
Right.
It's off to Kirby for what he's been able to do with this roster accumulation. Guys leaving, they're still acquiring guys. They're still getting better year after year. And they also got the quarterback. So you got the most important pieces on this roster. They know you're going to have a physical run game, which is what they live and die by. But then they also have the quarterback and the wide receivers that can throw it all over the ballpark. And so Georgia's just a formidable opponent. We've looked at them as such a defensive team. I think this year they lean on the offense to go get them 30, 40 points a game and go win it that way. Because defensively, I don't think they're not immune to being susceptible to giving up some things. They will be tough because they're Georgia and they're just bigger and badder than everybody else.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean they can't turn around and go get you 40 points every game.
Carson Beck certainly had a really good, starting
I
campaign.
think he's the top quarterback, in my opinion, in this conference and also possibly in all of the country.
It's going to be interesting to see where they land up offensively. In their back-to-back, we saw Stetson Bennett take the next step as a quarterback in year 2. I mean, he went from sometimes only 12 attempts a game to legitimately making plays as a quarterback. Like game manager to playmaker was an amazing step. Let's jump to Auburn. Hugh Freeze will be here on Thursday. And he's made a splash in recruiting as he's begun to try to ramp up what he's trying to do. He believes that you have to build it from high school. And he's taking that. He's not enamored with the portal. I got a chance to ask him, Roman, and he said, you can use the portal, sure, to fill some stopgaps, but you got to build this thing from high school.
I agree.
What do you see for Auburn this year? And Payton Thorne was bottom of the league in passing last year. Did you see that as more system or?
No, I see it as like they didn't have great wide receivers. Guys were not open. Who is he throwing it to? And then it's also Payton Thorne's got to be better within the pocket. And really understand, like, as pressure amounts on you, you got to be able to step up and deliver. You can't fade away. And I thought Payton Thorne got better. I thought the offense started to see that, hey, he's more athletic, using his legs, doing some other things to get more creative because of the lack of our wide receiver or explosiveness on the outside. And Hugh Freeze has done a great job of recruiting. I was just telling another guy that with Auburn right now, it reminds me of almost when I was in school, where Auburn was kind of just one-dimensional, really just running, want to be this physical team.
3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Then all of a sudden, they had this couple years of recruiting where Ben Abumanu showed up, Anthony Mix, Arama Shadu, Courtney Taylor, all these guys just showed up out of nowhere.
Underrated class of receivers,
all of a sudden, Auburn they were on fire. They were great for 2 or 3 years. They had a run where they were immaculate. And they had all the receivers, they had all the running backs. And so this is what it's kind of building up to, where these guys that are coming in right now, they're going to play. They're going to make plays for them, and they're going to put everybody else on notice that, hey, you give us another year or so, we're going to be at the top of what, the top of the class as far as this wide receivers and other things are going in the SEC. And that's what they're building towards. And it's going to take some time, and the schedule doesn't allow you to be great right now. But I think Hugh Freeze is right as far as, like, you can supplement things through the transfer portal, but you still got to build it through the high school ranks and get guys to buy into your program, know what it's like to be an Auburn man and raise there on that campus and become a great and kind of stay there. Because just like in free agency in the NFL, the best players never leave.
Right.
You don't let them out the door. You get whatever you need to do to seal the deal, you get it done. Now, a lot of guys leave because they're going from smaller schools to bigger schools, or they want bigger opportunities where I have more opportunities with NIL or whatever that is. But if you're on that campus from high school and you're really good, they don't let you leave. We're going to make the deal happen for whatever it is so you stay here.
Well, look, I know we'll be looking forward to seeing what Auburn can do this year. This new SEC is going to be hyper competitive, so it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I want to thank Roman Harper, ESPN color commentator and analyst for college football. Guys, that's it for another great edition from the War Report here, live from day 2 of SEC Media Days. If you want more content like this, please hit like and subscribe. We are the War Report on every social media platform. TW Report on TikTok. We're signing off, and as always, War Eagle.